Hello there everyone and welcome back to another exciting adventure from Vietnam. Today I'll be taking you through a scenic trip through nature at the Tan Lap Floating Village. This tourist attraction is about 100 kilometers west of Ho Chi Minh City. I found out about this scenic adventure idea after asking ChatGPT what to do for a day that I had free, and I uncovered this gem. I took a 1-hour taxi ride from Ta Nan City with my friend George from England, and we were both very excited to check this place out. So please allow me to show you around. Let's get to it. So we get to the front counter and we're greeted by some lovely staff members. We purchased the Combo Nha Truong ticket for 160,000 Vietnamese dong, or around 10 Australian dollars. Pretty good value for money if you ask me. This came with the entrance ticket, the rowing boat ticket and the motorboat ticket. We are provided with a map and now it's time to explore. Instantly after walking inside, the nature here is just sublime. So much green, there's a bit of wildlife as well. We saw a few lizards in the trees. A short walk and we immediately jump on the motorboat. I love this part, it was very peaceful and just love being around this type of nature. It really makes me feel at ease. This part here was just about seeing lily pads, green for as far as the eye can see, and it was a relaxing commute across the water. This section probably lasted for around 20 minutes and then we pulled up at a little cafe cabin for a refreshment. They had this really funky tree. I've never seen anything like it. The roots here were just so unusual. After admiring this tree, it was time to enjoy the next segment of the floating village, which was the rowing boat experience. I got to wear this traditional hat, the Nong La, and ride shotgun in the boat. At first, we went along the same path as what the motorboat did, but then we veered off into a more narrow canal section that was a bit more of a tight-knit and intimate setting. Now, my arms blew out pretty quickly, so I handed the paddle over to Georgie, but the lady at the back was like the Terminator. She had all this forearm strength from paddling the boat for years, and she really put us to shame. Thank goodness that we had her, or else we would have been stranded in the middle of nowhere. Once we got back to the shore, we were at the Island Cafe cabin again, where we had a pit stop for an ice cream and a nice cold drink. Started off with a coconut ice cream, but then couldn't resist having another, so tucked into a paddle pop watermelon as well. Anyone that knows me would know that I'm a fiend for ice cream, so this hasn't gotten lost on me since leaving Australia. Okay, so now it's time to explore on foot and stretch the legs out a little bit. There was a walking trail that came out of the cafe. We stopped here for a quick photo for Instagram and then discovered this blue building, which is actually a hotel that you can stay at in the forest, which would be a pretty unique place to spend a night in my opinion. From here we just followed some tracks which took us through a series of trees, flowers, bridges and plants. Sporadically along this trail we encountered a few watchtowers, which we went up as well. This gave a good aerial view of our surroundings. It was basically just a way of seeing trees for as far as the eye can see. You could see the blue hotel building sticking out quite noticeably, but apart from that you'd pretty easily get lost with your directions, as it was hard to even see the trail paths from up there. We continued walking around and we eventually found some signage for the Half Moon Lake, which we thought we'd check out. We pretty much just wanted to see everything that we possibly could while in the floating village. This section was a bit harder to get a good viewpoint of, but it still wasn't bad. Then we headed to the Purple Water Lily Field. This part was really cool, I thought, and with that we'd explored most of the exhibits that were running that day. I think that there were a couple of other things that you could experience here, like a bird island, but this wasn't running when we were there. After the exploring was finished, we sat down at the restaurant that was at the entrance and had this really nice meal. The table that we sat on had this little jar that had these small guppy fish inside of it. To cap things off, we stopped for our third and fourth ice cream of the day and then took a taxi ride back home to Ta Nan. Overall, I'd say it's certainly worth going to if you're in this part of the country. It's a nice escape from the hectic traffic and the motorbike beeping that you can find in other parts of Vietnam, so I'd have to give it 2 thumbs up for anyone that's thinking about coming here. That pretty much wraps it all up from the Tan Lap Floating Village. Let me know what your favourite part was in the comments below, or if you have any questions about the experience. Stay tuned for the next video on my channel because this one should be excellent. It's my experience of going to the derelict amusement park that is Happy Land in the Ben Luc township of Long An province. This was quite the adventure and resulted in my mate having to take a trip to the hospital for a rabies shot, so stay tuned to find out what happened there. and why Happy Land is the happiest place on earth. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you soon.